Here we are, Eddie and Haley's motel room.
Turn it down.
Police officers, we'd like to ask you a few questions.
Come in.
Eddie and Haley, we're investigating a serious crime, and you're our only lead.
I was a great lead. In 1971, we rocked. And he'll even in the LP cell we rocked. It was just the way it was.
We believe you were planning a comeback gig.
You son of a bitch, why'd you bring that up? I was going to play the big opening ceremony, my first gig in years. But you know what? It fell through.
We asked him why, but Inhaler told us he'd been too stoned to know what had happened. Maybe that's why they pulled the plug then.
Yeah, right out of my app. I wanted to kill somebody.
I asked Inhaler if he had indeed killed someone, but he feigned complete ignorance of the murder.
I've been holed up in this dive since the gig was cancelled. You have no idea what's happening in here.
It hit you that bad? Being taken off the program?
Hell yeah, it's my way back into the music business. I've been busking around dusty hills since Crimson Idol disbanded.
Don't you mean Crimson Slash?
Oh yeah!
We informed Inhaler about the corpse found on Dock Hill. He claimed to have been so distraught about his comeback gig that he had taken a 6-month-long trip in the relative comfort of his motel room.
You know what? Even I could have killed that guy. And I was so out of my face, I wouldn't have even known about it.
An interesting confession.
Well, hey guys, my door's always open, but if you want to come around any time, my door's always open.
My dad couldn't understand. My dad
I believe Eddie could have done it. Okay. Well, that was more or less a confession. And he was bitter and twisted and his mind unstable. He could be the killer.
Hey, Inhaler! Turn it off! The other guests are complaining!
Oh, son of a bitch!
Damn it, Chen, you walk too fast. Oh, and Sheriff, Eddie Inhaler's the homicidal maniac we've been looking for.
Really? I hope you boys handled yourself well.
Well, sure we did. Listen, I need to freshen up. Where's the John?
It's out and back. So, how long have you two been partners?
10 years.
Really? You make a really good team.
I think so.
Coffee?
Oh, thanks.
Hold on a minute. Hello? What? Not again. Yeah, okay.
Sheriff?
That was Mr. Norman, the motel owner. Said he discovered Eddie Inhaler with his amp on full blast and his brains trickling out of his ears.
But it could have been an accident, though, right?
I don't think so, Baxter. Due to the amount of bodies piling up, we should treat this death as suspicious.
Can I still have that coffee?
No, Chen, we haven't got time for that. Oh, and Sheriff, you need to get the maintenance man in.
That's a nice idea, Baxter, but why?
Well, when I was in the John, I noticed that there was no lock on the door. Any Tom, Dick, or Harry could just walk in uninvited.
Well, I'll look into it. Thanks.
We went out looking for more clues and found ourselves lost in a craggy cul-de-sac where somebody was laying in wait.
I'm the killer, and you know it.
You're not the killer. We've already eliminated you from our inquiries.
How many more people are gonna have to die, detective?
I warned you about your bad language, you weirdo.
What's so weird about to know? A Q is weirder. It's like a O with a Mistletoe.
The only thing that you're guilty of is annoying the ass off us.
But if you won't arrest me, I won't let you arrest anyone.
What's with the latest headgear?
I find your company riveting.
You can't kill a killer.
Chen and I were heading back into town when we were called over by a woman of a certain age. Not wishing to be rude, we went to see what she wanted.
I'm Miss Walton, the school teacher. Are you the policeman from the city?
That we are.
Oh, how exciting. I've been following this case since it was reported. I thought they'd solved it though.
I'm afraid not. That's why we're here.
Have you spoken to Conrad yet?
Conrad?
Conrad Anderson. He works at the library.
Why should we talk to him?
You do know about the ritualistic nature of the murder, don't you?
Obviously.
Well, you'll find any information about that sort of thing down at the library. I'm sure Conrad will be more than happy to help you out.
That's a lovely idea from, if I may say so, a lovely lady.
Oh, thank you. Detective?
A Lieutenant, Baxter.
Baxter. What do your friends call you?
Friends?
Baxter, I think we should get down to the library.
Okay, Chen.
Well, it was lovely to meet you both.
I may need to speak to you again, Miss Walton. Will you be available?
Oh, I'm available.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Baxter, are we going yet?
Yes, Chen, yes, sorry. Well, Miss Walton, it's been lovely to make your acquaintance. But we really better be going now.
Let me know if you find out anything.
Sure will, sweet cheeks. The musty smell that greeted us at the library led me to believe that the people of Dusty Hills were not all that keen on reading. And there didn't appear to be a single book in there published after 1970. Look at this, Chen. Enigma of the Gods. Did beings of superior intellect and scientific development visit Earth in ancient times to bestow our ancestors with gifts of knowledge? That's like those magazines I found under that rock in that cave. It means that ancient man must have had magazine printing capabilities.
Well, there were two things wrong with that story, Baxter. Firstly, it was
Can I help you, gentlemen?
We're here on police business, looking for information.
Oh, won't you take a seat, please?
Do you have anything on cults?
Yes, that's my pet area. Any particular cult?
A cult in which they place a hat on a skull.
Cult of Papa Kettlon. It dates back to the days of the conquistadors, Native American cult members who wished to frighten off and get the invaders off the land would place a feathered headdress on the skull of an animal and wait for the conquistador to stumble across it. The conquistadors saw these as trophies and would often make away with them, which led to the spirit of the animal killing the conquistador after he had heard the death rattle. Yes, death would soon follow.
How would the victims die?
Well, as I said before, the victims would hear a death rattle, and then they could perish in any number of ways. But usually it was something to do with their personality or livelihood.
Death rattle?
Yes, I have one here somewhere.
And do you know any stories about this cult?
Anderson told us how rivalry between the king's sons, Arlo and Lugo, for their father's love and affection resulted in Lugo's death. Arlo had been a secret member of the cult and had used the old hat and a skull ploy to ensnare his brother. When the king found the mutilated body of his son, he was so angered that he betrayed the cult of Popocatépetl to the
Conquistadors!
who not only wiped out the cult, but also destroyed the cities and temples of the Kotek.
Ah, here it is. A death rattle.
Very nice.
Oh, not nice at all, detective. Not nice at all. The rattle is a harbinger of death.
You seem to know an awful lot about this cult of Papa Whatsit.
Pulp of Popocatépetl is my favourite area of occult lore. For years I've studied it. I only wish I'd been alive back in the days of the conquest of America. Then I too could have witnessed the workings of this fantastical cult.
You know about this murder, I take it?
Of course. Exciting, isn't it? To think somebody's resurrected the cult itself.
I'm beginning to think I may know who did it, too.
Really? I'd love to know who it is.
Well, we'll need to borrow these as evidence.
You can't take that. You eat a pen.
Mr. Anderson, your knowledge of this obscure cult leads me to strongly suspect you as the killer.
Me? You come in here and accuse me of murder? Be gone, you odious old man.
Listen to me, bookworm. You're treading on thin ice.
Well, not to be spoken to in this fashion. Now off with the pair of you. And don't come back.
Okay, we're going. The papers I had sequestered from Conrad Anderson stated that the survivors of the Kotek massacre migrated north of the border and their descendants lived on a reservation outside Dusty Hills. I also found one of those posters for the Kotek Supermall, which Chen suggested was perhaps going to be built on the Kotek reservation, and that maybe that was why the murdered man had been in town. I knew I'd been wrong in the past, but I urged Chen to admit that Anderson was a very likely suspect, as he knew everything about the murder and he even had that rattle thing. Chen, however, made the observation that anyone could have read up on the cult. I humored Chen by saying he was possibly right, but that we couldn't afford to ignore the facts. I told him to go down the morgue and see if any of the other bodies showed signs of ritual sacrifice. I'd meet him there after I'd gone to thank Miss Walton for her invaluable assistance.
Knock, knock.
Come in.
Miss Walton?
Oh, hello, Detective. Your friend not with you?
Oh, no, he had to go to the morgue.
Oh, my.
Oh, no, he's not dead. We had to go and see the pathologist.
Oh.
I brought you something.
What is it?
An apple.
It's a lemon.
It's an apple.
Oh, the children bring me these from time to time. Do you like their artwork? I asked them to draw people they'd seen in Dusty Hills.
I've seen better. Hey, that's me and Chen. What are those in his hands, knitting needles? How do they know he's a big Hell Howard fan?
I think they're supposed to be chopsticks.
All right, it's 'cause he's Chinese. I just thought I'd pop along and tell you we think we found our man.
Conrad was able to help you then?
Oh yeah, he sure was. Thanks for telling us about him. Seems he did it.
Conrad? I can't believe it. Oh dear, this is terrible.
There. This may cheer you up.
I saw you cross the playground like some childhood fantasy. I'm like a kid put on detention who'll be laid on for his tea. I don't mind that punishment, 'cause I get to spend my time with you. With you. And you can teach me a thing or two about love. You can teach me a thing or two about love, love, love. You can teach me a thing or two about love. You can teach me a thing or two about love. I lay awake at night alone, wishing you were here. Your reassuring presence keeps away the fear. Even when I sleep, I see your face looking at me, at me, at me. And you can teach me a thing or two about love. You can teach me a thing or two about love, love, love. You can teach me a thing or two about love. You can teach me a thing or two about love. 1 and 1 is 2, and 2 is company. The equation for love I've tried so hard to see. I studied all the diagrams and I know my ABC. The equation for love I've found is simply you and me. I ask you for marks out of 10, for effort you give me 1. You tell me to try harder, but when all is said and done, everything I know about love, I've learned it all from you, from you, from you. Because you taught me a thing or two about love. You taught me a thing or two about love, love, love. You taught me a thing or two about love. You taught me a thing or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 about love. I know all there is to learn. I've learned all there is to know. I know all there is to learn. I've learned all there is to know. And everything I know because of you. 'Cause you taught me. Yes, you taught me. A thing or 2.
Oh, you're very sweet, Detective.
Oh, you're sweet too, Miss Walton.
Really?
Uh-huh. I know we only just met, but I haven't felt this way about a woman since my 2nd marriage.
Oh, Detective, are you going to kiss me now?
No?
Oh.
You know, you remind me a little of my mother.
Oh. Thanks.
Listen, I should be going. I need to confirm a few facts down at the morgue before you arrest Anderson.
Lieutenant, did Conrad tell you about the chief out on the reservation?
The Indian reservation? Well, I read something about the Kotek people living out there, and we saw the posters for the Kotek Supermall on the way, but Conrad didn't mention any chief.
You should go see him. He's the last of the Kotek people. He may have some useful information.
You're full of ideas, miss. If Chen wasn't my partner in anti-crime...
Oh, that would be wonderful.
But he is. And I gotta go call him and let him know I'm gonna go and see this Chief Kotek guy. I followed up Miss Walton's information, and using tracking skills I had learned in the Boy Scouts, I set off in search of the Kotek chief.
Hot jiggity damn.
Hi, Ted Wickerman here with the midday forecast. As some of you may be noticing, a heat wave has hit Dusty Hills. The sun is high and the temperature is rising. Due to the unique landscape, Dusty Hills is a sun trap, and that equates to a death trap if you're stupid enough to go out wandering in the midday sun. You're gonna lose energy real fast out there, and your water reserves will be evaporating quicker than you can say sunstroke. Don't want to be caught out in the heat today, so stay indoors, or at least wear a hat. Baxter, I presume.
How did you know?
I saw your ugly mug in the Dusty Hills Chronicle. You better come in. And your name is?
Big Chief walking with dinosaurs.
I always wondered why you guys are called Big Chiefs.
Well, you'd have to ask the women folk about that, if there were any.
That's right. You're the last of your people, aren't you?
Yes, last descendant of the Kotek people. We migrated north after...
I know all that. What I want to know is if Conrad Anderson ever came to you asking about the cult of Papa Catalan.
He has been as good as stalking me for years now. Said he was researching a book about my people, but you don't need night vision goggles for that, do you?
Probably not. Wait a minute, there's no tobacco in that pipe.
I don't smoke.
Tell me, when is this supermall being built?
Never, if I have my way. How dare they take this land from my people and build upon it?
Oh, I thought maybe you'd sold the reservation.
I owe it to the memory of my people to keep this land sacred.
So, who is behind the building?
A man came to visit me, told me I would need to vacate my home if the building went ahead. This angered the spirits of my forefathers.
And you, I bet. What did this man look like?
A Flash City slicker. Sunglasses, blue suit, long blonde hair.
The murdered man.
I believe so.
I'll be back. Thanks for the information, Chief. That was well worth the 50-kilometer trek here.
50 kilometers? I thought you said you came from Dusty Hills.
I did.
Well, it's only 1 kilometer away.
Well, I took the scenic route.
Back at the morgue, I was about to make a startling discovery.
Any more news, Chen? Nothing.
We can't find any further evidence of ritual killing on the other bodies. They just appear to be your everyday brutal murders. I have just been asked to go to the library to pick up Conrad Anderson's body.
What? He's dead too? This is getting ridiculous.
This may sound callous, but in a way I'm glad you've come to town. We've not had this much work to do in a long time.
Well, I'm glad someone's happy with this situation. Well, it's just as well I went to see Big Chief walking with dinosaurs.
Oh yeah? He could easily be the killer.
He didn't want the supermall being built, and the dead man was somehow linked with its proposed construction.
You want me to run over there and bring him in for more questioning?
Yeah, then get back here as soon as you can. What's that ringing sound?
I've been wondering that. I've been hearing it for months. Carl, what is that noise? Where did you get that? Off a body? Well, which body? The stranger's body? From inside him? My goodness! He must have found it on the corpse when we were performing the autopsy.
Give me that. Damn, this is valuable evidence. We could find out who the man was from this.
Carl, get out of my sight this instant!
Hello, who is this? Susie? Well, yes, this is Baxter. No, Tom's my son. Your husband? Oh, that's Susie. Wait a minute.
What is it?
This is Tom's phone?
Did we find out who the victim was?
Oh my God, Jen. It was my son.